Okay, here we are. Yan. Yung paper ko saan sinulat talaga yung Book of Mormon. Kakalakay ko kanina. First edition Book of Mormon.
Si Jesus Christ kasi parang representation.
Kasi, hindi, pag dumating siya, naka-read siya kasi kinuha niya na lahat ng kasalanan natin, di ba? Oh, this is cool.
This, I'm going to put it right over here.
All right. Mommy, come here.
This shows you how it was printed.
Is it okay if I take a video for the kids?
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
So, you know, when you print on a computer, you send it to a printer and it prints for you, right?
Yes, they do that a lot of
Well,
times.
in 1830, when the first Book of Mormon was printed, well, 1829, they had to go through some steps. The very first step was they had to find every single letter. So you can see that's a Q, right? They would have to find every single letter in every single word. Can you tell what that is? An N. And they would put it into a composing stick like this. So they would take it and they would put it in. But it had to be upside down and backwards in order for it to print and be able to be seen. So, see what this looks like? It would have looked, you can see, that's the Book of Mormon, but that's the way it would have been printed so that when you read it, it would read like that. So, see, they would fill up this composing stick, and then they would put it on the press. Can you see all those letters and things? It's all set up to go. Okay, that was one thing. Now the next thing is to put paper. And so they would pull out those wood frames there, and that put on the paper. Okay? And this would be to protect the margins, and that would go down. Okay, then the next thing would be to get ink on. So they would have a table that they would squirt ink onto, and they would roll these balls into it, and they would roll them around so that they got ink everywhere on the ball, and then they would pound it on. Okay? Then they would roll that underneath that big, heavy weight, and they would pull, that's called the devil's tail. Isn't that a funny name? They would pull the devil's tail, and it would drop, and it would print. Okay? Now, for you kids, I'm going to give you these, but your parents, I'm going to give a different one. But we're going to fold it, and your mom can help you, and your dad.
Oh, you put it like that, and you cut it.
Wait just a minute, though. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Now, this is called the first 16 pages. But now, wait a minute. If they printed it on one side, that's only one side, right? So what would they have to do then? They'd have to print it on the other side. So they would have 2 pages like this. And it would be all of the first 16 pages. Then they would turn it over so that when they got through printing them, they would have 2 copies of the first 16 pages. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, find where it says Book of Mormon. See where it says Book of Mormon?
You do you. I'll take a video.
Okay? And you're going to fold it back so that you still see Book of Mormon. Okay? And if you can get it even, when we get through here, you're going to have your own set. You get it there?
Okay. Ay, mga.
Okay, next, Book of Mormon. Fold it down. So you still see Book of Mormon. I'll give you this one.
Thank you. I'll stick to the video. So they'll remember it when we go home.
Where is home?
The Philippines.
Oh,
So
wow.
We're visiting.
Oh, how wonderful. Okay, one more. You're going to fold it back. Now, this is the first 16 pages. If when you get home, you sew it or staple it, cut where the folds are, you will have the first 16 pages just like it was in the first Book of Mormon. Now, I want you to notice.
You have to cut it.
It doesn't have the columns like we have in our scriptures
Oh,
today,
yeah.
does it? It was more like a novel.
No verses, right?
And I want you to also notice this one right here. This means it's the first signature. Because in the Book of Mormon, there were 37 of these. They had to fold them, 37 groups of 5,000. Then when they got them all boxed up, then the next step was to put them, pile them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see, like, see that says 16. That means it's the 16th one of these.
Oh.
Okay?
So it's not necessarily the page, right?
Yeah. And it isn't the page number because the page
on the
number
top.
is at the top.
Right.
These are at the bottom. And see how that has 14? That's the 14th group of 16 pages. And see, that's that very first page. Right there, that very
It says it's the
page,
first of the 6. Oh, right.
16 pages. Okay, then they put it in a machine that would push the air out, punched holes down through it, and they had to hand
sew.
sew it. And then they would get the covers. Now this one is cardboard, but they had leather.
Leather, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and so they would
leather,
glue it
cow
all
skin
together to get this first. And the printing was from August to March. And then they started binding them. And so that they had the first Book of Mormon printed before the church was organized.
Oh.
And to get it done in 7 months was quite a trick.
Yes.
Okay, that's a better one. That's his.
Thank you. I'll put it in my journal.
And it is really fun to look at it and see, okay.
Yeah.
It says printed by
E.B. Grandin.
and it says that Joseph Smith was the author.
And proprietor.
We know he was not the author. He
Yeah.
was the translator, but the law at the time said he has to say he's the author or they could not
Could
print
not print it. Oh, okay.
So, anyway, now this display back here is 1,200 copies. That isn't even a fourth of the 5,000
Yeah.
that was printed. So,
The first printing, right?
yeah, this was the first.
Do you sell the replica in the store?
They do.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, they sell that, the Doctrine and Covenants,
The hymn books?
and the hymn book. The
That'd be nice
little
to have.
hymn book.
Yeah.
When you get to the Kirtland Temple area, the case that's there has one of the original hymn books in it. So you
Nice.
may want to, as you go through, flip the brown cases, because that's
That's
where the
original.
artifacts are.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing us. Last time we were here, like they didn't have these interactive displays, but it's really wonderful for the
Well,
kids.
and
Yeah.
we've got upstairs, we've got the gold plates. You know, they're not the original, but so that you can see. And
Guys,
we also have a wood grading cart that maybe you would be interested in too.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, we can spend the rest of the afternoon here.
You've got time?
Yeah.
We're only open till 6, so
Okay. I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
you've got an hour and a half.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Okay.